Alright, welcome to part 4 of the 100% beginners kind of tutorial thing. We're going to be jumping right into World 3. Remember last time we were recapping and collecting all of the Thief Sprints, cleaning up Worlds 1 and 2. And from here on, like I said, we are going to be just diving right on in. And we're going to be able to do every level 100% back to back to back. So we're going to start out here. And don't kill that mosquito. It spawns a cutscene. Don't. Here, jump to the back and hit this this bottle. Don't get stuck and super jump back like I did. It's bad. But make sure you get that one. You should have 3 here, and then you'll collect this one. These 2. That's that. I recommend, especially as a beginner, you kill all 3 of these mosquitoes to make your life a lot easier. Then we're gonna come back here, and we're gonna get on the edge of this little thing here. You can kind of stand on this, even though you're not really standing on anything. We're just gonna double jump right up to here. You can just make this jump. It's really easy. We're gonna kind of just edge close to this guy, just start mashing square, and you should go down pretty easily. And there's 2 more bottles down there you need to get. Then we're just gonna come right up here, and there are 3 bottles over here to the left next to this guy, those, and then there's 1 bottle up here. You have 14, and it's important to make sure that you have 14 at this point. Once you jump down here, there's a checkpoint, so you won't be able to come back to any of these portions of the level without loading the game to reset. So make sure you have all 14 in your bottles before you jump down. From here, you can do this 2 ways. You can grab that bottle and then do the jump up strat from here from the rock. Or if you want, you can grab the bottle and come over here to the left. And you can break this, and then you can just kind of slope jump up and over that. This hitbox for these spikes doesn't really go the entire way, so that's pretty cool. And then there's a cutscene down here. So we're just gonna jump on this tree and then jump out and around the tree. And this is how we're gonna do the route for this. If you don't feel comfortable doing this with fast, don't worry, you don't have to do it with fast. Just let go of the triangle button and you're good to go. This is how you want to do the route though for collecting the bottles and breaking the candles. From here, I'm gonna come over and collect the key. And we have 1 more bottle left to collect. It's over by the vault, so we're gonna get it as we're going over to the vault. And the vault is camera here, right over here. Well, over here. Now this is another one where we just have to watch this. So we're just gonna input our code and sit here, kind of chillax, take a sip of your water if you'd like, you know.
Electrified! Kelly McCooper's notes on how to harness the electromagnetic field created by a rolling raccoon. Now your raccoon roll move will
Really pack a punch. Fortunately, we'll never really get to use that.
Nice tingling sensation.
So, since we had to watch that, it will auto-equip roll. Just press L2 3 times, and you should get back to fast right away. Cycle through your power-ups. And just run out, exit the level. Now, from here, since we need to go back and get the Thief Sprint, we're just gonna mash select. You can mash start if you would like, and then just go down to view map. And we're just gonna go right back into the level. And you can't do the Thief Sprint until you have collected both the key and the vault in the level. It doesn't spawn until you've collected both. And then we are collecting that exit point. Or for whatever reason, for this one in particular, you also need to exit the level for the Thief Sprint to spawn, which is weird. I don't really understand why. That's why we can't skip the thing. Now here, this is a strat called Nuka Jump, and it's kind of difficult. You don't need to do this. You don't want to, but I'm gonna show it off because I think it's really easy. So this second portion of the vine here, where this next coin is, that little like kind of crimp in it where it goes, you know, like that. You're gonna jump right as you start to go down, and then you're gonna delay your second jump. You're gonna go jump, jump, and then press circle. And what it should look like is not that, because I did that too early. This is what it should look like. Hold on. I keep jumping too early. Trying to like time my words. That's what it should look like. You should get a little bit of a boost from the jump. And then you're just gonna jump down here and finish the level like normal. If you don't feel comfortable doing that strat, or you just don't want to do it, you can just ride the vine down, take the bouncy pad, ride the vine up, and then just jump up to this top vine here on the tree. And from there you can just jump right down. It's a really easy jump, and you should be good to go. Oh. I think that was because I stood still. His cycle is normally not positioned like that. But I think because I was standing still up there with the timer still running, the guard spawned there. But that's fine, we can showcase this one more time. Full speed the whole way through. This is the kind of level of play you can get to with practice. Do all these really cool things. Yeah, see how he's way over there now? This is what it looks like if you don't just sit there and wait. That's why he was over here ready to shoot me. And again, I'd recommend just not running through this area with fast. So you get to right here and you're good to go. Otherwise you risk alerting the guards, and if you die, you have to do the whole thing over again. But just be careful. From here, we're gonna load the game and skip this cutscene and reposition ourselves right here. And we're just gonna go straight away to Lair of the Beast. Right off the bat here, we're gonna run into the cutscene and just load the game, skip cutscene. We don't like watching cutscenes. Very slow. Make sure you get those 3 bottles, and then this is a pretty simple jump to this, and then you're just gonna double jump back and up to here. If you can't get enough height to make that circle input, you can just do this, and if you do it right, you can just ledge grab this and then jump up. But just try to learning how to mash circle. It's not that bad. From here, we're gonna jump off right about here, and we're gonna collect all of these bottles on this side. I have 9, and then we're gonna jump into that one to collect 10. And there are 3 on this slide. Make sure you grab those, and we're just gonna come over here, mash back through these, climb up this, and there's a bottle right here. Make sure you grab that one. And then we're just gonna go through the level like normal. You can skip some of these hooks if you would like. Get some real big height. Skip multiples. Feeling a little risky. Now, I like killing these mosquitoes just because they're annoying. There's 1 more bottle there, and then 2 here. And there's another one right here that can be easily missed. And then there are 3 over here to the right that can also be really easily missed. Make sure you get those. And I like to stand on that platform for about a second after I break the bottles to make sure that I can make this jump back up. Because as you see, it kind of bounces a little bit. And then once it's settled again, you can make the jump. If you fall down, it's really easy. You just climb back up. Pick this mosquito up. You fall down and you just climb back up the vine like normal. For here, important that you make sure you don't have to press circle ever. I was explaining it and then did the thing I did not mean to do. So grab right here and just make sure you don't miss that bottle. Get all the way down to here without like jumping off of this vine, and then jump and hold left. And then once you're like way far over here, then you can press circle again and you should be fine. The game there is really buggy because of all that stuff that's down there, like the hooks and the tree barks and things like that you have to climb on, get over to this area. It's really buggy and doesn't know which point you're supposed to be on. So just make sure you don't have to do that more than once. It's really bad. For here, we're gonna break these bottles, and then instead of going this way and spawning the snake, we're actually gonna go backwards. And I'm gonna fall in the water here. We're gonna go backwards, and we're gonna get to right here, and we're gonna do a really easy jump. We're gonna position ourselves like this, and we're gonna just go hold directly right, and just big double jump mash circle, and you should land over here. And the trigger for the snake spawning is that first thing with the 2 candles. So the snake won't spawn, so you can just kind of go through this backwards. And you can do this with fast if you would like, if you feel comfortable messing around with the camera. You don't have to, you can just do this chill. Keep turning your camera. One thing to note is this is supposed to be a chase sequence, so the camera is always going to try to turn backwards. So you want to make sure that you're, paying attention to that and kind of adjusting as you go through this segment. And that's kind of another reason why I don't recommend using fast with it right away until you are 100% confident in your ability to do this. Sometimes when you're pressing circle and you land on those candles, it'll cancel your automatic land animation and you'll just fall into the water. It's no biggie. We don't have to worry about the snake trying to kill us. We don't get sent further ahead in the level because the snake has to spawn, so we're good to go. We're going to skip the key. We're going to come back and get this later. What instead we're going to do is we're going to open this up, and we're going to leave that at 3, and then we're going to do this. We're going to get the autosave, and then we're going to load the game to skip this vault. Now, if you aren't comfortable doing the out of bounds strat that I'm going to be showcasing here, don't skip this vault. Just watch the page and then go over and break the key. It's only a few seconds faster to skip this and then do the strat backwards, or do the level with the strat. So don't worry if you can't do this. You only need to do it once. I'm gonna go here, and this strat is a little weird. You can get right about here and then hold directly forward and then do that strat we did in Gumbo Graveyard, where you jump as soon as you latch onto the thing and get up here like that. If you're not comfortable with that, you just can't get it. There's another really easy backup where you just jump on this torch and then jump up here. It's really, really simple. And the bone strat is only like a second faster, so you don't gotta worry about that. From here though, we're just gonna walk around. Make sure you kind of stay not directly in the middle of this, but like a little to the right, and you'll be fine. You'll never fall off. And then here, we're gonna kind of position slide like this, and then hold up left and do another slip jump. And you should ledge grab this. And then from here, you can turn your camera if you want. Otherwise, you can just hold left and jump down here, and you're good to go. Coming over here, and you're going to break the key and load the game. Skip the key animation. Back at the start a second time, and we're gonna just do that one more time. Nice and fast. If you want to do this fast, you can do all this with fast too. Burn through it. Looking like a pro out here. Show off. Impress people. Show them how cool you are and how good you can play Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Alright, so now we're gonna go over and we're gonna do Piranha Lake. And you can use fast this whole time. Again, I don't recommend doing the jumps that I do on these little rope thingies, or these like bones. Don't do this stuff. Just climb along it like normal. It's really hard to do with fast, so just don't. We're just gonna come over here to do Piranha Lake. And Piranha Lake is the exact same as it is in the other categories. It's just a minigame. Can't use fast during it. Gonna restart the level. Skip that, and then I like to kind of sit here and wait and see which side spawns more fish now. I don't necessarily know if it helps, but or if it's just a placebo effect, but it does really seem to kind of help make this go by, not necessarily faster every time, but it seems to be much more consistent, like consistently like average speed. And then sometimes you can still get lucky and it can go really, really fast, and other times you can get unlucky and it can go really slow. But it seems like overall it's more consistent, like it's more of an average every time. So I'll take average every time over, you know, the exact same chance every time that can be either fast or slow. There's not much to this minigame. Again, just make sure you're keeping track of the torches you have and haven't lit yet. Like me. And you should be golden. Pretty easy level. When you come out of here, if this happens, you're good to go. You can just swing your cane and pause and view map out. Otherwise, normally you would just jump into the key like this, and then kind of like trying to advance a frame at a time. There we go. And that'll work, and you should grab the key in the mid-air animation. You'll pause, view map, and then go back to the dark center. From here, we're gonna come over here and bounce on this thing. Get up here, go the long way around, whack this guy. We're gonna do Grave Undertaking. Make sure you don't get hit by that guy, and you do not forget this bottle. I forgot that bottle a lot starting out. It's really far out of its way, So make sure you don't get that. You also do not want to break this tombstone. If you break this tombstone, a cutscene will spawn where Bentley talks more about the tombstones and the graves and blah blah blah, and you can't use fast. So make sure you don't do that. Break those bottles, run around that guy. There's a safe right here with 2 bottles. Make sure you get that. And we're just gonna come over here, and we're gonna hit this bottle. We're just gonna keep trucking along through here. Inch forward a little bit at a time. Down here, and then you can skip this last torch and take a very wide path, and you should never have to worry about these ghosts. And then you can just stand still and mash, and all the ghosts will just run into you and die. Here, we're gonna go over and collect these bottles on this side. Like so. And then we're gonna just jump down again and bounce back up here. And we're gonna take this one the slow way, because we want to make sure we don't trip the alarm. And then on this one, we're just gonna jump out and around and hit this. If you trip the alarm, sometimes you can hit these lasers down here when you're doing that jump, and you'll accidentally die, and that's not good. Well, if you have a charm, you'll die. If you have a charm, you'll be fine. But yeah. And there are 2 on this little chandelier thing. Make sure that you grab these 2. It is very terrifying to forget, or it's very easy rather to forget those bottles and not know where you lost bottles at. Now we're gonna come over here to this left side. I'm gonna grab these 3 on top of this, and then come back over here. Grab this one in the corner. It's really sneaky, and is another one you'll probably miss a good amount if you don't run through and just kind of commit them to memory. We're gonna go forward a little bit here to spawn some ghosts, and then we're gonna leave those 3 spawn because only 3 can spawn there. Get the bottles, and we're just gonna ignore them. Eventually they'll despawn. I'm gonna jump over here and grab this, and then you should have a charm, so if you get hit, you should be fine. But at the same time, you want to make sure you don't fall down to the ground here. A strat you can use if you have a charm is you can just jump down here and land in the water and take damage, and that'll prevent ghosts from spawning for a little bit. Or rather, since you have the water safety page, you won't even take damage. It'll just despawn the ghosts for a little bit, and you should be good to go. Stupid mosquito. You can gain a little bit of distance, and you can just kind of chain that together if you want. Alternatively, with these ghosts, walk forward a little bit, hit a ghost, go a little bit forward, and just kind of inch forward. Don't mash your attack, because there's a little bit of delay between when the hitbox is in front of you and when it's not. And if you fall down there, there's really no way to recover that other than just dying and respawning at the checkpoint. So just make sure you don't fall down. Well, I guess there is a way that I could show, just in case you do happen to fall down and land on that, and you don't want to die. You can come back over here to this area, and you can jump over here onto this, and then you can jump back up here, and you're good to go. I guess it's also good if you miss 3 bottles. Generally, it's probably these 3 that you forgot. But I guess that's another way you can kind of get back up here without going through the main building. Otherwise, this is, you know, your way to get back up here. If you get hit by a ghost and fall down, that's pretty much your quickest bet to get back up here. And I guess just to answer the question right now, because I'm sure somebody watching this is gonna ask, if you can do that jump, why don't you go up there and get those 3 bottles beforehand? And the answer to that question is, it's just slower to backtrack, jump up there and get those, and then come back down and go through the center. There is a different route of this level, that's more of an advanced route that does that. It goes up and gets those bottles, but then it does a completely different route after that that doesn't even go through the middle tank thing where the ghosts are. It doesn't even bother with any of that. That's a very advanced route. It requires a death abuse. It makes you do the rest of the level without a charm. And all 3 of those things are very, very scary. So that's why I didn't go over that. But since I had to explain that backup strat, I figured I would at least tell you that's why I didn't show that. Because it's part of an advanced route instead of a nice, simple, easy beginner. Okay. That was weird. So like this is how you would normally get through that other area. It's kind of just inching forward, killing a ghost at a time. So grab this bottle. We're gonna come over here. You can break this if you would like, but this jump is really easy. So, really just up to you. Whichever you prefer, grab these last bottles, and you should be good to go. And put the code 128, and sit here and listen to Bentley explain this silly little thing here.
These are the blueprints to this Ruby's production facility. I'll pipe this information into your binocucom. Use it to find breakables and clues nearby.
Alright. Now we're going to come back over here. And we're going to break this, and we're going to load the game so we can do the Thief Sprint. Now again, it is important to note, dying in a Thief Sprint does reset you all the way back to the start. Be very careful with these ghosts. They have really wonky hitboxes. Make sure you don't mess up and die to them. Kill this guy if you would like. The timer in this level, completely negligible. They give you way more time than you would ever need, even if you were playing the level the normal way. So here we're gonna do that backup shot that I was talking about. This is actually the fastest way to do the Thief Sprint, is to jump up here and skip going inside the big building and jumping out to here. From here we're gonna get up on this eye socket, and we're gonna jump up and out of bounds. And that's a really easy jump. It can be kind of tricky, so practice it. You know, make sure you can get it somewhat consistent. And like I said, you know, the timer here is pretty irrelevant. Make sure you don't run off to the side here. This is the void, and you'll have to reset. And then it's also important to note, don't run straight away here. You're either gonna fall down to the right and have to do the sketchy ghost things, and if you go directly through here this way, you're gonna fall down and you're gonna get stuck. So come over here to the left, line up like this, and then jump down. I'm back in bounds and complete your Thief Sprint. And I sat there and I explained a whole bunch of things, and I still had 59 seconds left. That Thief Sprint is completely negligible. Really, really easy. From here we're gonna do another slope jump up and out of bounds. And we're just gonna run straight away down here. And we're gonna drop down and we're gonna whack this guy in the face. Oh, I'm a nerd. Ha, nerd. Then we're gonna wait for a mask to come and jump down and get here. And we're just gonna sit in the mask circle. If you want to use fast, you can. Make sure you don't get spotted. And we're gonna run over here to descent into danger. Alright, so this level, by the way, we're greeted by Bentley not shutting up.
Green waterfall
And during these, like I said, you can't use fast, so we're just gonna have to deal with being a little slow here for a little while. Now you have to wait for this guy to pass before you can jump here. 'Cause he will spot you and he will shoot you. If you have a charm, you don't have to worry about it. You can just do whatever you want. We're gonna break these bottles. Over here, we're gonna break this one. And we're gonna break these. Kill this guy, and we're gonna come up and around here to the right. I'm gonna go backwards this way. And that will put us up here. And we're gonna grab this bottle. And come over here, and we're gonna grab these 3 bottles. And then these little middle points, they break as soon as you touch them. So when you touch them, make sure you jump. You're good to go. And we're gonna get these 2 bottles, and then we're gonna jump down, and we're gonna do a super jump, or hit the thing. Either way, just make sure you hit the bottle. And what I would normally suggest doing is, you know, hit this with super jumps, break the bottle, and then just jump down and hit the water. And what this will do is it'll put you right back up here, so you can keep going through the level normally without having to worry about backtracking a whole bunch. And then we're gonna climb up this, get above this guy, and drop attack him like we're Batman. I'm gonna grab these 2, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna drop down here, or well, I guess this is that bottle. So if you wanted to get the bottle this way, you could get the bottle this way. If you happen to drop the super jump, since I'm down here again, if you happen to drop the super jump, or you just don't want to worry about it, you're just not good at super jumping, whatever the case may be, break the bottle, kill the guard, and then jump up and break this one from below. And you can do this kind of weird, finicky, like, weird jump, where you kind of jump out and then back towards it and ledge grab, and you can get right back up here that way. Those are kind of the 2 ways to keep yourself up here. Both of them work fine. And then you can make all these jumps, even with the little wood planks gone. You can make all the jumps. You don't have to worry about that. But from here, we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna whack this dude in the face. And we're gonna drop down, and gonna make sure you can line up to kill this guy. Whack him, get the bottles, come over here and break these bottles. And then we're gonna jump to this little green portion right here. We're gonna jump in between those 2. And you can kind of sit here and keep jumping. And I think you can even stand here. Well, I think you can stand there, doesn't mean you actually can. And have a game over, so have to do everything over again. That's fine. If you happen to die or game over, since I'll be explaining this strat later on, when I do the thief sprint, you can get right here and hold directly forward and just double jump right up here. You can do this as an alternative strat to get these bottles early, should you decide you would prefer to get them early. You can jump up, get the bottles here, kill the guy, get these bottles, and then you can drop down and do that way. Either way works just fine. This jump isn't that difficult. Once you figured it out, it's not that bad. And then you just jump right away over here. If this guard is still alive, wait until he turns around, get him to shoot, and then when he gets close to you, jump up and kill him. If you haven't died, this guard won't be respawned. So, you know, if we were doing this like the normal, oh, we just dropped down, got our bottles, we would just jump up right away. Got a lot of speed there. We would just jump up right away, and we'd be good to go. Now, there are 4 more bottles over here in these safes we want to grab. And then his Ruby's going to be talking here. So, we're going to use this time to grab this this thing. And this is a little weird, but we're going to drop down here, and we're going to chain super jumps through this. And jump back up here, grab on this again. And I really hate when the game has dialogue like this, because I hate talking over anything. Really obnoxious. But, yeah, it's not gonna let me... It's not gonna let me despawn the pause menu. I'm just gonna wait until she shuts up. Keep speaking. Oh, cool. I'm gonna kill this. So alternatively, what you can do is normally right around here is where her dialogue is gonna start. You can wait and get these bottles later if you would like. They're in a really weird spot, but you can wait and get those. Come up here and jump through this, and Bentley has a little bit of dialogue right here, and only one set of dialogue can spawn at, or can be active at a time. So if Ruby's talking with her really long cutscene, Bentley's tiny cutscene will cut her out, so you can use fast. And if you would like, see how much shorter that was, and you already have fast active again. And you can grab these bottles here, and then if you would like to jump down and get those bottles now, you can kind of do some really weird jumps around this. If you want to do that, I don't know why I dropped down here, but you can do that. You can wait for an easy one, and then drop down and get the bottles, collect them, and then you do that way, or you can do it earlier, and then just jump over here instead of doing the super jumps. And oh, I know why that phone call is happening. Okay, never mind. Does not matter. So we'll do that. We'll double jump back up here, and we're good to go. So there's really a myriad of ways that you can do that. It's up to you. If you do this way and you still have the red thing spawn, you will have to kind of, inch your way back here. With fast, tapping's probably the safest way, so you don't accidentally run into the thing in front of you. From here, we're good to go. We're just gonna do some silly things, break these candles, blah blah blah. Do that, do this, and then not do that because we're gonna die. We're gonna wait and be patient. We got these bottles. Over here. Grab these two. Grab this from the safe, and jump down and get these. Now, this level is a very good time to explain this. This can happen in a lot of levels, but it happens. I've had it happen the most here. When those bottles break out of the safe, sometimes if you're really close to water, they can break off and fall into the water and not be obtainable anymore. What you have to do in order to fix that is either die and respawn at a checkpoint, or reload the level. There's unfortunately no other way to fix that issue happening. It is incredibly rare. I've ran this category for over a year now, and I've only seen it happen 3 separate times to me personally. One time was in Rocky Start, and then the other 2 times were both in this level. So that is something to note, but it is incredibly rare. But if you have found yourself missing a bottle... Oops, I was putting in Dread Swamp Path. If you happen to find yourself missing a bottle and you just have no idea where it's at, and you've went through, you've collected every single one, maybe you pulled up the guide again and watched me do this and collect all the bottles, and you're just super confused, where could this bottle be? Pull out the Binocucom, and by this point you should have the blueprints for Ruby's hub world, and just look down at the ground. And if the bottle spawned and landed in the water, there'll just be a big green circle in the water, kind of just laughing at you maniacally, making you hate your life. From here, since we had to watch that, again, it'll auto-equip the ability, so it'll be roll. We're just going to hit R2 twice to go back to fast, and we're just going to ride the vine down. Now, this is another point at which you could collect these bottles if you really wanted to. This is like the slowest way to collect the bottles, but if you honestly wanted to, I think this is how they intended you to do it, was to like jump off of this and do some just really wacky, horrible jump up to like here or something, and then grab the bottles this way, and then go back, and you can go back by like double jumping and climbing the vine this way, all the way back up. It's just stupid. I would recommend just grabbing the bottles at the beginning, but if you want, the option's there. Here we're gonna break the key case and load the game again to put us back at the start and skip the key animation. And then we're gonna get this, and we're gonna just climb all the way up to here. And he can't spot you here for some reason. It's really weird. But we're gonna do that same jump, get up here, do this, jump up here, and if you're really, really fast with this, I kind of just burned through it there. If you're really, really fast with this, and you can do all of this in one motion, even if you ledge grabs, provided you don't get stuck on this, you can get up here and kill this guy relatively quickly. I have to worry about him. Don't worry about tripping this alarm. Since we skipped a very, very large portion of the level, we don't have to worry at all about the timer here. We have plenty of time to do that. Also, I would recommend you either do this section without fast, or if you do it with fast, you wait a cycle on these second torches. Very hard to do the one cycle when you're using fast on the torches. Not because the cycles move, you know, faster than they normally would. It's just getting the timing right on the inputs is a lot harder when everything is going at twice the speed. So to finish out World 3, unfortunately we have an auto-scroller and then a minigame. Really boring levels. Not really a whole lot going on here. Really like nothing to explain. Just don't die. It's pretty much the only thing, like the only piece of advice that I can give you is just don't die. If you want to be extra careful, if you have a charm at the end of Descent to Danger, I'm gonna pause because the music is gonna be loud. If you have a charm at the end of Descent into Danger before you do the Thief Sprint, if you want to be really safe, you can put the Thief Sprint off until after you have killed Ms. Ruby, and then you can just go back and do it if you would like. You can even set up your splits if you want to set up your splits to do that. So you could have a charm for this level and the chickens minigame, Down Home Cooking. Both of those can be kind of scary if you don't have a charm. So if you would like to do that, you can. In fact, if you're just starting out, I would almost recommend you do that, just because chickens can be quite annoying, and you can die very easily in that and this level. So it is an option there should you desire to do that. Here it's pretty much just, you know, pick a side, get through that side as quickly as possible. Nothing else to it. Make sure your shots are landing. Otherwise, it's pretty much just go through the level. So we're really close to a charm here. I would recommend grabbing a charm. That way you can guarantee that you have one for chickens. And then just do this. For that last section, the biggest advice that I can give you is pick a tombstone and make sure you get that tombstone broken before you switch off. Because the more tombstones are active, the more ghosts are spawning, the more shots you have to put on the ghosts instead of the tombstones, the longer it takes, the higher the chance to die, blah blah blah, yada yada, all that nonsense. Okay. Down Home Cooking. The only real advice that I can give for this level is when the roosters die, they have about a second, not on the in-game timer, but like about a second of real time before they respawn again. They first spawn at 8, and then whenever they explode, like I said, they have that like 1 second of a caveat before they blow up, or before they respawn again. When they're respawning, just don't be on the sides. Try your hardest to stay away from a gate. And you can also double jump up and over their explosion if you find yourself just absolutely trapped. But the best way to do that is to just kind of take paths to avoid them ever having to avoid being trapped. I like to make them explode more than other people. Some runners prefer to be chased the entire time with the same set of chickens. That's pretty difficult to do, to the same exact ones that spawn from the very beginning. They prefer long chases over a lot of short chases. I prefer a lot of short chases. It is a little bit riskier because there's more chances for them to spawn in front of you and blow you up. But I feel it allows me to take faster paths because I have more options available to me to, take shortcuts and things like that to get the chickens better. More chickens faster. But like I said, it does have its risk. Its risks, so do whatever you feel the most comfortable with. But at this point, we have 100% in everything. We've done all the thief sprints, we've got all the bottles, all the things. This cutscene is only faster to reset the game to skip it if you were playing on a backwards compatible PlayStation 3, and your resets are under 50 seconds. So that's from the time you press reset game to when you were back inside the level playing the game. I believe that's when I timed it too. I might have timed it to the title menu, but whatever. PS2, all forms of PS2, PSN, all of those, it's not faster to reset. You have to watch this cutscene because this cutscene is only 50 seconds. From there, I like to just hold right at the very beginning and mash the jump button. Guarantee I get over there and you can skip the cycle. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, you don't have to, but that's what I recommend doing. I'm gonna go over this kind of briefly because I've went over it in detail in my 80% tutorial. Basically, you're just gonna run and jump to this vine. You're gonna get a running start first hand, and then as soon as you land on that, you're gonna double jump up here out of bounds. You're just gonna hold up left, and you're just gonna mash jump for a little bit, and then once you've got to about right here, you're good to go. You can just walk on this. I like to jump down here and despawn the weird thing, the wall, so I can see where I'm jumping to. And we're gonna jump out of bounds and hit this, and then we're gonna get up here onto this first invisible platform, and we're gonna hold up, do this, and then up and over, and we're gonna run. And what we're gonna try to do, normally you wouldn't have a charm. You're gonna try to get hit by her tail and knocked into the water. And if you don't have a charm, that will kill you, and you'll die in the water, and you're good to go. You skip the first phase of the fight and the cutscene that plays after it. If you have a charm like I did, all you need to do is just touch the water. Doesn't matter if you die in it or not. All you have to do is just touch the water. And normally, we'll have water safety here. So even if you don't have a charm, and you just go and try to fall into the water, you're gonna just get sent back up here. That's fine. Just try to get hit by her tail. It's just a little bit faster, but don't go out of your way to guarantee you get it. Because odds are you're gonna end up wasting more time than just falling in the water, getting back up here. You're just gonna fall back in bounds and let her kill you like that. And it's important to note that this is a death abuse. You do need a life to do that, but otherwise from here it's just the same boss fight. If you've ran the game before, you know how to do this. You just go ahead and skip ahead to the end of the boss fight. Unfortunately, I can't skip ahead to the end of the boss fight. I have to sit here and play DDR, so I'll see you guys there. Yeah. I'm gonna be playing some DDR. I guess the thing that I can point out, so I'm just not just sitting here not talking, if you haven't ran the game before, and you are picking up the game straightway learning 100%, for these inputs, the inputs are the exact same every time. This first set here is always going to be square circle X. The next one will always be circle square X. So the pattern is the exact same every time. And these inputs, you don't need to time them. They don't have... Like, you can't fail for pressing the button too early. So I just like to mash the heck out of the button. So like, mashing square, mashing X. Square, and circle, and then X. And I just alternate my mashing. And if you want to time it, you can. Nothing's stopping you. This part of the game just likes to drop a lot of inputs. So I feel that, you know, if I put 30 inputs into the game, the likelihood that it's gonna drop the one that matters, you know, is a lot less likely. I'm gonna drop down, and you know, I've seen some people having some trouble with this, so I'm actually gonna explain this. So I drop down to the right here, and I run up and I get right about here, and I pause the game, and I start loading the game. Alright, I go to load game, and then as soon as I load the game, I hold directly against her, and I just start mashing square. And that's pretty much all that there is to that. It's important that you hold directly against her the entire time until she's dead, until you guarantee you see that pop up. And I even just mash square all the way until I see the autosave, and then I'm good to go. But from here, we're going to view map, and then we're going to just press down, or not down, we're going to press left and then down, and that is the quickest way to get to the hideout from Deadly Dance, left down. And you will see, we're back in the hideout. We have collected all 7 treasure keys, all 4 of the vaults, and all 4 of the hourglasses, or the thief sprints, whatever you want to call them. So that is World 3, completed 100%. This is where it starts to get a little bit trickier. The difficulty does, I think it doesn't spike necessarily, but it does become a little bit harder. The thief sprints, although they become a little bit easier. I think Descent to Danger is probably the only thief sprint that's really challenging, just because there's a lot of things you can die on there. But otherwise, I think World 3 is pretty good. Practice it a lot though. I've done this, you know, countless times. Definitely a practice. And that goes for all of the hub worlds. They're all difficult. All of these sprints are difficult, so you know, figure out what you need to practice the most, and you'll be good to go. But next time, part 5, I believe now. Weird because we're going to hub 4, but it's part 5. Part 5 of this 100% tutorial is going to be covering World 4, and it's going to be explaining some kind of wonky mechanics with 100%. And I'll try to explain them as good as I can. We're gonna have kind of a really cool route that we're gonna be doing, and it's not even an advanced route or anything. It just looks cool. It is fastest way to do it, so that'll be cool. We get to do a fast strat that even people starting out can do. That'd be fun, and that'll be it for me. We'll see you in part 5. Peace.